And welcome back to more Kirby's Squeak Squad. Last time we got a kick stolen and went after it, but we kinda got thrown down a chasm by DDD. It's actually something I want to talk about. DDD is usually a final boss or penultimate final boss. And by penultimate I mean the second to last. I don't know why I didn't just say second to last. But it's weird having DD fought as the first boss. It's rather unusual, but I kind of like it because as time goes on, DD has actually become less evil. At least he's like kind of a narcissist, is how I picture him, but he's not like inherently a hugely bad guy. Dreamland, he stole a bunch of people's food and got beat up for it, basically. In Dreamland 2, he's actually possessed. Spoiler. And I think he's possessed in Dreamland 3 as well. Adventure, he's actually trying to help. He's trying to fight off a nightmare. And Kirby just doesn't understand and accidentally botches everything. So, it's actually really fascinating that DD's role has gradually lessened. Superstar is, well, it depends on the mode. Because there is a mode that's directly inspired by Dreamland, ergo Spring Breeze, in which DD is the main antagonist. But on the whole, I was doing touchscreen management, that's why the pause. On the whole, DD is a lot nicer in recent years. It formed an angel power-up, so I'm just gonna ignore it. I don't like that power-up, it's really slow. Okay. So running to the end, dodging the Squeaks. I forgot to look up the Squeaks names off screen. So that was my bad. Do this, and branching pathway, kind of. Now this is the first time when this actually matters, because we did take a fair amount of damage that battle. As I was saying, 64, DD's kind of helping, I think, if I recall correctly, DD's actually, like, helping for the most part, and only is, like, evil at the very end, where he's, like, possessed again. But again, it's been forever since I played 64. I played 64 for the first and last time shortly after the Anniversary Collection came out, so that was, like, 5 years ago. It's always 5 years, it seems. That's my thing. It's like, let's play games 5 years after I originally played them. Or since I last played them, in the case of Mario RPG. I feel like this is the right path, just because there's a lot more blockades. But it doesn't actually seem to go anywhere. So we have 2 more branching pathways. This is kind of confusing, actually. Can't drop through these platforms, so we have to cascade down gently ourselves. Fire, because why not? So a lot of people do find this game a little bit derivative, which I know is like one of my least favorite words in the gaming industry. I'd mentioned several others as well, but they're all very controversial words in this case. But derivative is the only one that wouldn't start an argument. May clue you in on what the other words are, but again, I would prefer not saying too directly what the others are. Okay, so up here is a path, and to a treasure chest, no less. Drop down, Kirby, thank you. Sometimes the controls can be a little bit finicky when playing on a gamepad, because you're not playing as directly as with a DS. DS, the buttons have very little lag, because the screen is right there where you're pushing buttons. I think I missed a chest somewhere. If so, that was my bad, because I just was rambling about King Dedede. This is another one where I think you're locked in. No, you're not. You can just do this. See ya. So if I did miss a treasure chest, we will go back for it. And I should actually point something out. Now that we have access to a map screen, I should point this out. Oh, that was it. So basically, you have these 3 phases. They have little animations when you travel between worlds. So you see this has a star, You can see all the levels are flashing, meaning we collected everything. If you haven't collected everything, there will be no star. It'll just be an orange disc. And if it's a gray disc, that means you haven't finished the level at all. So that's kind of your clue as to how well you're progressing. And this music is really good. It's from the original Kirby. It's, I think, Green Greens. So we have the wheel Kirby, which is a problem I have. The hat of the wheel Kirby to me looks exactly like the one that the yo-yo Kirby has. I don't know if I'm just remembering the yo-yo Kirby wrong, but I don't know, it just seems weird. A lot of people want yo-yo Kirby back. In Planet Robo, whatever the heck the game's name is so stupid if you ask me. Planet Robobot, I think is the name of it, but to me it doesn't scream Kirby. It sounds very dumb. I mean, Triple Deluxe is a really good game, don't get me wrong, so I'm sure the new Kirby 3DS game is going to be amazing. Heck, it might actually be out by the time this LP goes up. I don't remember its release date. But I just find the name dorky. Though, to be fair, when was the last time Nintendo didn't give something a dorky name? Seems to be something they like to do, so... yeah. So we have the upgrade ammo scroll, so we can do, it's kind of a drill attack. I think that's the special, just let me check for a moment. Yes, the drill is the scroll move for the animal costume. And it's actually a little bit finicky. You have to jump and then tap B and a direction simultaneously. So yeah, it's a little bit finicky. Maximum tomatoes are full heals, but I already have one from earlier when I combined the two items during the tutorial, actually, like a really long time ago. We only have the big chest, which is a little bit suspicious if you ask me. So with the upgrade, you can actually really speed through here. I do plan someday to do every mainline Kirby, I should also point out. So I just want to do Squeak Squad because it's generally considered one of the less popular ones, but I personally like it one of the best. It's behind Superstar for me just because of nostalgia mostly. I will fully admit it's because of nostalgia. Need to clear a room, so I just used the Maximum Tomato. Yeah, it's mostly nostalgia because it's my first Kirby. Yeah, that move is surprisingly brutal for a Kirby game. By brutal, I mean not really, but for Kirby, yeah, a little bit. You can also already tell that the first world is like super imbalanced compared to the rest of the game because we're already at 8 minutes, and we are only on like 2-3, and yet we got through the entirety of World 1 in basically in like 10 minutes. So yeah, balance is not something this game does well, and you will see that even more at the very end, where the final world is a little bit on the short side. More on that later, obviously. So we have the wheel scroll. The wheel scroll basically lets you turn it into a flaming wheel, or an ice wheel, or an electric wheel, or something. Shoot, I remember what this level is. I'm not a fan. You'll see why in a little bit. I thought this level was a lot later, so that's why I forgot to look it up. What is it? No. This is not the one. This is a different one. Oh shoot, we do have to go up here. Except not really, because we don't need any more tomatoes. When you only have 5 inventory slots, using them on items is not really the best use of your time. Yeah, I'm thinking of a later level, World 4. That's why it was like, wait, this is too early. So yeah, it's the World 4 that has a really obnoxious level that looks similar. Got another scroll, but I didn't even look at what it is. The collection room, if you notice the top thing, is just basically your list of everything you've collected. We'll go over that at the end of the project, probably. I just don't feel like going over it right now. I keep pushing the wrong buttons because I'm used to playing this on a DS, not a Wii U. The music in this level is so off-putting to me. Like, I don't know, it just doesn't sound like Kirby music. I mean, it's not a bad song, it's just a little bit repetitive. It doesn't really feel like Kirby. So we have our ice power back. Even though this makes no sense, you can actually put out fire geysers. But again, when you can actually get the scroll to angle the ice up and down, that's kind of when the ice power becomes really useful in this type of situation. Freeze that. Because freezing lava totally works. And actually, I want to demonstrate what I was talking about before. So with the scroll, we can actually go through the fire and turn into a flame wheel. Thus bypassing the need for ice, because we can just drive over all the stuff. Now I know this is a bad matchup in Pokemon, but I just wanted to clear an inventory slot. This guy, I don't know his name. Other Kirby games tend to give the names of mini-bosses, this game doesn't. I should also point out that this is only the second Kirby game not to have developed by Masahiro Sakurai of Smash Bros. Fame. After Nightmare in Dreamland, apparently there was some sort of creative differences between Sakurai and Nintendo, so he left the company, and someone else took over. That's why Brawl was such a big deal, because Sakurai technically hadn't done anything gaming-wise since. And back to normal music. So, we have Fighter, which is like super overpowered. Can do all sorts of moves, shoryukens, hadokens, you name it. I guess this would be, what is it? No, that's kind of a shoryuken. And yeah, hold B and you can do a Hadouken. So yeah, that's why Smash was a big deal, because actually originally what was gonna happen was they were gonna make Brawl without Sakurai, and then he basically, after the initial reveal trailer, he's like, okay, yeah, we're doing it. So he basically caved. So some consider it kind of a pressuring move, like, oh, we're just gonna make your own franchise without you because we want money. And then Sakurai was like, nope, you ain't gonna mess with my franchise. Oddly enough, he seems to have been totally cool with letting Kirby go. That's a beam scroll. I keep forgetting to point out what the scrolls are. I don't know how long this secret is. We got time. We may have to take on the boss next time now. Because we're under 15 minutes. I mean, I like to keep things between 15 and 20 most of the time, but this LP is going to be so short otherwise. I kind of feel like breaking the rule. That's generally seen as a reference to Master Hand, the little black hand, or gray hand actually. Oh yeah, the green enemies can eat items. That kind of sucks. Oh. This level, I think, is confusing. I'm not sure if I'm mistaking it for another level, though. Ow. Also, Kirby's less vocal in this game, so I do feel like this game was made on a slightly lower budget, but I still think it's decent, and a lot of people do find it less original, just because it uses a lot of the same engine work of Amazing Mirror and Nightmare in Dreamland. So yeah, it is less original, I'll fully concede that, but I don't think that's necessarily a sign of a bad game. I feel like for some forms of media, that is a bigger deal. But I mean, like, nothing in this game directly copies another Kirby game. So maybe that's where I'm coming from, sort of. It's like, my definition of derivative is not just like, oh look, you reused assets, because how many amazing games have used reused assets? And I don't remember which path to take. This is a slight problem, actually. I think it's the upper path? It might be the lower path, I'm not quite sure. Also, you can do this. Yeah, I think we goofed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we goofed. Yeah, I think it's down there, but I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, don't kill him. And I killed him. Well, just do this. Respawn him. This game's really easily broken that way, actually. Okay, so it looks like the bottom path was actually the right way to go. That's my bad. You can't quit out of levels. That's another problem I have with this game. That's kind of a Kirby norm at this point. So I guess we get to see what's one of the special things that happens. I lost the second treasure chest. Oh shoot, we get to see something new now. Well, you now at least know where the other treasure is, but these Squeak hideouts, basically you just fight the Squeak as normal, except in like a treasure hoard. And they'll eventually give you the treasure, once you defeat them. Some rooms work differently though. Some actually have a thing where you have to defeat a set number of Squeaks, somewhat reminiscent to the Meta Knight rooms. Also in these there's a Squeak hideout exclusive battle mode where they turn red, which typically refers to the fact that they're harder to kill, but they were so low in health at that point that they go down easily anyway. For the sake of just keeping continuity, I think I'm going to show the other level, even though the video is going a little bit longer than I would have liked. And we got a second one of those little heart crystal-y things, so we actually got a life extension. One of the sucky part though, it's not a refill. So we actually are a little bit down on health, sadly. So we just go through the stages normal, speedrun tactics. I bet this would be an easy speedrun game because how short it is. There was actually a speedrun mode, it's like a time attack mode. I've never done it because I've never had like 3 hours to spare consistently. I mean, okay, yeah, the game can be completed, yeah, in about 3 hours. At least that's my best time, I think. And that's without flubs like this. It's still not a very long game, but still. So just go down already, okay. We don't really need the hammer this time because we can just go down. So let's go down this. Actually, I want to check something first. Yeah, okay, so fire can break those blocks too, so it's only the one thing that you really need the hammer for. Just double checking. Okay. Maybe we should just do all of World 2 in this video, I don't know. Maybe that would be better. Keep second guessing myself. Yeah, oops, wrong button. Prepare to see that quite a bit, actually. Okay, here we go. So you have to hit this to basically raise the bridge, and then you can kill this gold bottle D. That's what I forgot to do. And then it loops back. So this time we don't have to fight the boss, so it does speed things up a teensy bit. So yeah, ow. Okay, there we go. So I'm just kind of going through with reckless abandon at this point, but this is kind of proving my point that you really don't need that many lives, just because enemies don't do that much damage. You get so many heals that's really not that big of a deal. We got time. I think it'd just be easier to set it up as like one world per video anyway, meaning 8 videos. So it'll be basically set up like the Adventure LP, Nightmare in Dreamland. This boss is super easy, if you can tell. Yeah, this is a little bit broken. Still under 20 minutes, even with the boss, and having to replay a level. That's Kirby Squeak Squad for ya. So now we have access to World 3. Which is the obligatory sky level, but it looks like we're starting out pretty grounded, so next time we will be exploring Cushy Cloud. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you'll join me next time for more Kirby Squeak Squad.